Soldiers are screaming and fleeing in terror as something powerful attacks them. A massive, shadowy creature, identified as the Demon of Teros, looms over the battlefield. The monstrous Demon of Teros, a stitched-up behemoth, unleashes a devastating attack. Our guy, Han Ji-hyuk, stands with his back to the chaos, a smug smirk on his face. Han Ji-hyuk, the Demon of Teros champion, gloats about creating the monster while the Archmage Teros looks utterly exasperated. The Archmage Teros, the old man, complains to Ji-hyuk about always being dragged into battles. Ji-hyuk tells Teros he has to watch him fight since he summoned him, making the old wizard look even more terrified. Ji-hyuk gets heated, reminding Teros that he was forced into this war for 30 years and demands responsibility. Teros looks shocked as Ji-hyuk declares he doesn't care about their cause and sees everyone as an enemy. Ji-hyuk reiterates that he's only helping to get back to Earth and tells the old man to stop nagging. The monstrous Demon of Teros lets out another terrifying roar, still a major threat on the battlefield. Teros congratulates Ji-hyuk on defeating the Demon King, but Ji-hyuk is disappointed by the anticlimactic end. Ji-hyuk complains he had 4 more ultimate weapons ready, making Teros look utterly flabbergasted. Ji-hyuk, with a sly grin, reminds Teros it's time to fulfill his promise. Our boy Ji-hyuk is absolutely ecstatic, happily collecting a pile of gold coins. Ji-hyuk dreams of a peaceful, relaxing life back on Earth, surrounded by his newfound wealth. Teros asks Ji-hyuk if he's leaving immediately, looking a bit down about it. Ji-hyuk steps into a portal, telling Teros there's no point in delaying and that he wouldn't be happy if Ji-hyuk stayed anyway. Ji-hyuk cuts off Teros' attempt to talk, demanding to be sent back to Earth already. Teros explains that a mana crystal twisted causality, keeping Ji-hyuk young for the past 30 years. Teros reveals that shattering the crystal will reverse causality, sending Ji-hyuk back to the exact moment he was summoned. Ji-hyuk holds the crystal, admitting he doesn't get the causality thing, but understands he just needs to break it. Teros confirms the crystal is fragile and warns Ji-hyuk not to resist the causality reversal. Ji-hyuk agrees, then smashes the crystal, gleefully telling Teros he hopes they never meet again. Ji-hyuk's eyes widen as the causality reversal takes effect, sending him back. Han Ji-hyuk is back on Earth, celebrating his triumphant return with arms raised, thinking he's finally free. Han Ji-hyuk eats chips, thinking about his first desired actions back home, like a true champion. Han Ji-hyuk continues munching, planning his first meal of kimchi fried rice and stew. Han Ji-hyuk sits on the floor, content with his newfound time and money, dreaming of a peaceful life. Han Ji-hyuk grins, ready to check the valuable items he brought back from the other world. Han Ji-hyuk looks confused as he tries to pull something out of a stubborn portal that won't open. Han Ji-hyuk struggles with the portal, growing more bewildered by its resistance. Han Ji-hyuk's gold, jewels, and undead army are shown, implying they are lost or inaccessible. Han Ji-hyuk is horrified, realizing he's not on Earth but in a place called Siron. This dude just can't catch a break. Han Ji-hyuk looks around a ruined, magical setting, questioning his new location. Han Ji-hyuk confronts a white-robed man and 2 hooded figures, who inform him he's on the Siron continent. Han Ji-hyuk's eyes widen in disbelief, demanding to know where he truly is. Han Ji-hyuk, now in different clothes, sits at a desk, looking utterly fed up with his situation. A younger Archmage Teros asks Han Ji-hyuk what he just said, looking surprised by his outburst. Han Ji-hyuk angrily throws a book, yelling about reading garbage, making the younger Archmage Teros flinch. A flashback shows Han Ji-hyuk fighting on a battlefield, highlighting the brutal hardship he endured. The younger Archmage Teros tries to warn Han Ji-hyuk on the battlefield, but Ji-hyuk snaps back, asking if he's giving orders. Han Ji-hyuk, back at the desk, asks the Archmage Teros how long it's been since he arrived. The Archmage Teros, now looking like his older self, reveals it's been exactly 25 years. This old wizard is playing games with causality. Han Ji-hyuk is back on Earth, looking distraught and accusing the Archmage Teros of betrayal. Han Ji-hyuk screams in anguish, realizing his entire retirement fund is gone. Han Ji-hyuk is on the floor, yelling at the Archmage Teros for being a bastard. Han Ji-hyuk, back on Earth, senses a powerful mana wave. A blue mana wave is seen spreading across a bustling city street on Earth. A dark, ominous crack appears in the sky over the city, accompanied by the mana wave. People's feet are scrambling in terror on the street as a chaotic event unfolds on Earth. A random young man is screaming and fleeing for his life, urging others to run from the unknown threat. Han Ji-hyuk stands amidst the panic, looking up at flying monsters in a ruined cityscape, utterly bewildered. A massive, terrifying dragon-like monster is shown, confirming that otherworldly creatures are now on Earth. Han Ji-hyuk, our guy, is absolutely furious, yelling at the Archmage Taros for sending him to this chaotic version of Earth. Ji-hyuk tries to sneak away, thinking he needs to avoid trouble as a kid falls to the ground nearby. The young kid is on the ground, crying out in fear as danger approaches. A monstrous flying creature descends rapidly towards the terrified fallen child. The monster's gaping maw looms over the crying kid, ready to strike. Han Ji-hyuk stops, observing the imminent danger to the child, despite his earlier resolve to stay hidden. Han Ji-hyuk's eyes glow with power, declaring that anyone messing with his retirement will pay the ultimate price. Ji-hyuk prepares to fight as an unseen ally shouts for civilians to evacuate the area. A new character, a young man in combat gear, heroically blocks an attack with a glowing sword, protecting the kid. The new guy checks on the kid, telling him to evacuate quickly amidst the explosions and chaos. Han Ji-hyuk looks on, surprised by the sudden appearance of this new, capable fighter. An emergency response team is shown engaging the flying monsters across the city, leaving Ji-hyuk completely baffled. Another member of the response team is seen wielding a glowing sword, actively fighting the invading creatures. Two archers from the response team are shown expertly firing arrows at the monsters in the sky. A shield-wielding member of the response team bravely deflects an incoming attack. Han Ji-hyuk is stunned, realizing these Earthlings possess powers akin to those from the Saron continent. A glasses-wearing member of the response team unleashes fire magic, warning his comrades to be careful. Han Ji-hyuk watches a monster get hit by a golden energy blast, still trying to process the situation. Han Ji-hyuk is utterly bewildered, questioning where the Archmage Taros sent him as the old wizard's smug face appears, claiming he kept his promise. Han Ji-hyuk is back in a room, slumped at a computer desk, looking completely drained. Ji-hyuk researches online, confirming he's on Earth, but sees news reports about the ongoing monster attacks, realizing his peaceful return is anything but. A massive dragon-like monster is shown as the world is now plagued by gates, monsters, and awakened individuals. Our guy learns that awakened people, like the fire and lightning users shown, gained powers after gates appeared, recalling Taros' causality ramblings. Han Ji-hyuk checks his bank account, seeing a pathetic $345,261, realizing his luxurious retirement plans are utterly ruined. Han Ji-hyuk sits at his desk, mentally in his 60s, lamenting having to worry about making a living again. Han Ji-hyuk considers registering as an awakened to quickly earn money, but absolutely refuses to go back to that life. Our boy is shown with his skeleton army in a dungeon, thinking he could use them. But there's another problem with his method. Han Ji-hyuk ponders using his undead, but worries about how Earthlings would react to a Necromancer and his spooky friends. Two scientists look utterly baffled, commenting that what they're witnessing is completely new. Han Ji-hyuk stands calmly as several scientists observe his summoned skeleton, marveling at the never-before-seen summoning magic. A bearded scientist with a baseball bat challenges Han Ji-hyuk, telling him the next test is combat power and to go ahead and hit me. Han Ji-hyuk's summoned skeleton, eyes glowing red, stands ready for the combat power test. The scientist swings his bat at a smaller skeleton, easily knocking it back, clearly underestimating our guy's power. The scientists discuss the skeleton's attack, concluding it was a bit weak, completely missing the point. The bearded scientist declares the testing sufficient and suggests a meeting to discuss Han Ji-hyuk's abilities. Han Ji-hyuk activates his enhanced hearing ability, preparing to eavesdrop on the scientist's private discussion. Han Ji-hyuk smirks as he overhears the scientists call his ability underwhelming and decide to classify him as F rank. Our boy's new awakened ID card is shown, officially branding Han Ji-hyuk as a measly F rank. Han Ji-hyuk, despite his F rank, looks confident and declares it's time to finally make some money. A typical necromancer is shown injecting mana into a single skeleton, explaining the standard method of controlling undead. The typical necromancer struggles to control multiple skeletons, highlighting the limitations of their mental energy and mana. Han Ji-hyuk reveals his unique method, where smaller skeletons are shown stitching together a larger, more powerful orc-like monster. The newly formed orc-like monster unleashes a disgusting green, corrosive attack from its mouth. A skeleton is shown recoiling in pain after being hit by the orc monster's corrosive green attack. Han Ji-hyuk looks surprised, realizing his summoned monster can perform such a potent attack. Han Ji-hyuk, using a magical circle, commands the skeleton to dodge the green needle attack 6 times, showcasing his precise control. Han Ji-hyuk explains his macro system, detailing complex pre-programmed dodge, block, and attack commands for his undead. This dude's basically coding his army. Han Ji-hyuk further illustrates his macro system with flowcharts, showing how his skeletons automatically respond to specific situations. He's a Necromancer programmer. Who knew? Han Ji-hyuk demonstrates his macro system in action, where his skeletons automatically attack a goblin, proving he can summon many units without manual control. Han Ji-hyuk laments having to program his undead like a computer again, clearly annoyed about being back in this grind. Han Ji-hyuk explains the bugs in his early macro system, using a funny analogy about conflicting commands for milk and eggs. Even his skeletons had glitches. Han Ji-hyuk rages at the Archmage Taros, blaming that old wizard for losing his perfected macros and his retirement funds. Han Ji-hyuk sighs, deciding to at least create a basic macro system for convenience, accepting his current fate. Han Ji-hyuk checks his watch, noting he's been hunting for 4 hours and it's time to head back. The grind never stops for our boy. 2 random awakened guys spot Han Ji-hyuk, confirming he's that guy they've been hearing about. The random awakened guys discuss Han Ji-hyuk, acknowledging his F rank but noting the crowd of monsters following him. They're clearly underestimating our guy. A cheerful burly man, the monster buyer, greets Han Ji-hyuk enthusiastically. This guy seems way too happy. The monster buyer marvels at Han Ji-hyuk's massive haul of monster corpses, while Ji-hyuk's skeletons stand guard. Our boy's a one-man monster farm. Han Ji-hyuk tells the monster buyer to just calculate the payment, implying he trusts him and doesn't need to check. The monster buyer confirms a 2,000 KRW transfer after taxes, which Han Ji-hyuk accepts. That's a decent haul for an F rank. Han Ji-hyuk receives the transfer notification, thinking his retirement is still a distant dream. The struggle is real, even for a necromancer. Han Ji-hyuk waves goodbye to the monster buyer, who thanks him and asks him to come again. Han Ji-hyuk muses that staying low rank and avoiding attention is better, planning to fine-tune his macros for survival. Smart move, dumbass. The 2 random awakened guys from before discuss the dangers of low-level gates and wonder why they don't team up with Han Ji-hyuk. The random awakened guys conclude that summoners don't usually team up because their styles don't sync well. They have no idea who they're talking about. The armored awakened guy looks surprised as Han Ji-hyuk approaches them. The other awakened guy apologizes to Han Ji-hyuk for their private conversation, blaming his comrade for speaking out of turn. Han Ji-hyuk, with a sly grin, dismisses their apology and asks if they're looking for a porter. He's about to hustle them. The 2 awakened guys look surprised, confirming they were just about to hire a porter. They're walking right into his trap. Han Ji-hyuk extends his hand for a handshake, sealing the deal. Han Ji-hyuk, with a confident smirk, offers his brand new porter services for free as a grand opening event. These fools have no idea what's coming. Han Ji-hyuk's genius business idea is revealed with an explosive visual, hinting at its powerful impact. The armored awakened guy asks Han Ji-hyuk about his brilliant business concept, clearly intrigued by our boy's hustle. Han Ji-hyuk's hand is shown on a monster corpse, confirming his porter service involves moving dead creatures. The 2 awakened guys and the woman marvel at a skeleton carrying a monster, as Han Ji-hyuk proudly introduces his skeleton porter MK2. Han Ji-hyuk pitches his skeleton porter as eco-friendly and tireless, a true capitalist necromancer. Han Ji-hyuk, with a sly grin, proposes a rate of 30,000 won per hour, claiming it's worth 3 human porters. The woman with glasses quickly calculates the cost, realizing it's a third of the price and agrees it's a reasonable deal. Han Ji-hyuk laughs, offering discounts and telling them to spread the word, while the armored guy calls him more of a businessman than an awakened. Han Ji-hyuk smiles, thinking that making easy money is the ultimate goal, embracing his new entrepreneurial spirit. Han Ji-hyuk chills while a line of customers waits to hire his skeleton porters, with the woman from earlier managing the stall. A customer enthusiastically orders 2 MK2 skeleton porters from the woman, showing the business is booming. The woman at the stall, surrounded by purple magic, is revealed to be the person Han Ji-hyuk found dead earlier, now working for him. Han Ji-hyuk, back in a gate, grumbles about perfecting his macro system for the skeleton porter MK2, still chasing that perfect grind. Han Ji-hyuk's skeletons sense trouble, looking at a fallen person in the dungeon, because of course our boy can't catch a break. Han Ji-hyuk looks surprised, realizing the person is already dead, which usually means more trouble for him. Han Ji-hyuk tries to ignore the dead body, telling his skeletons not to get involved, attempting to avoid another mess. Han Ji-hyuk sighs, lamenting his inability to mind his own business, knowing he's about to get dragged in again. Han Ji-hyuk decides to use the dead person as a part-timer, casting a summoning spell, because why let a good corpse go to waste? The woman from the stall is shown injured and bleeding, revealing she was the part-timer Han Ji-hyuk just resurrected. A man and an old woman look distraught, with the man apologizing for relying on her so much, adding to the tragic backstory. The man tells the woman not to push herself, offering to take a part-time job, showing his concern for her. The woman with a determined smile reassures them, declaring she's an awakened and can handle it despite her clear struggles. Han Ji-hyuk, with glowing eyes, decides it's better to resurrect her and get her wages for the family than let her die. The woman, now a skeleton, begs for help while a cruel awakened man kicks her, calling her filthy. The cruel awakened man scoffs, telling the skeleton woman this is why she shouldn't act tough, showing his utter lack of empathy. The cruel awakened man yells at his scared subordinate about their next move, still a total jerk. The cruel awakened man smirks, deciding to abandon the dead woman's body, and his subordinate just agrees. Han Ji-hyuk's hand glows with purple magic as he reflects on the betrayal by those trash awakened. Han Ji-hyuk looks at the resurrected woman Han Seo-ah, telling her they'll work together from now on. Han Seo-ah is formally introduced as an F-ranked awakened and Han Ji-hyuk's new zombie assistant. Han Ji-hyuk points at a chibi Han Seo-ah, confirming he's talking to her, and she looks confused. The narrative explains Han Seo-ah's new role and how Ji-hyuk's porter business is now booming. Han Ji-hyuk sips a drink, pondering how to deal with the scumbags who killed his new assistant. Han Ji-hyuk decides getting involved would be annoying and notes he's running low on skeletons. Han Ji-hyuk considers leaving Han Seo-ah and moving to another gate, as this one has limits. Han Ji-hyuk postpones his decision, telling Han Seo-ah he's just heading to the bathroom. 3 other awakened individuals, including the burly man, look utterly frustrated by the situation. The woman complains that Ji-hyuk's skeleton stole all the porter jobs, suggesting they move gates. The burly man suggests making a request to Ji-hyuk, thinking he doesn't seem bad, surprising his teammates. The burly man proposes asking Ji-hyuk to limit his stock for business, making the glasses man look shocked. Han Seo-ah manages the skeleton porter's stall, while the narrative highlights Ji-hyuk's endless supply advantage. An unidentified person photographs a skeleton porter, as the narrative warns of Ji-hyuk's potential market expansion. The 3 frustrated awakened individuals wonder how long they'll be pushed around by Ji-hyuk's business. 2 new awakened individuals, Kim Yong-gi, the freckled man, and his subordinate, are introduced. Kim Yong-gi's subordinate points out Ji-hyuk, an F-rank summoner, questioning his porter business strategy. Kim Yong-gi's subordinate asks if he's messing with an awakened, but Kim Yong-gi denies planning a direct fight. Kim Yong-gi smirks, revealing he has awakened friends backing him up, and tells his subordinate to follow. The 3 frustrated awakened react to an offer, with the glasses man complaining about Ji-hyuk's unfair competition. The burly man suggests negotiation, but the glasses man looks doubtful about its success. The glasses man apologizes to Chon-soo, the burly man, stating they will align with Kim Yong-gi. The glasses man expresses concern to Chon-soo and the woman about all his friends heading towards Kim Yong-gi. The glasses man looks uneasy, feeling that something about the situation just isn't right. The glasses man contemplates secretly warning Han Ji-hyuk about the impending danger. Han Ji-hyuk, our boy, appears behind the glasses man, smirking, having clearly overheard his thoughts. Han Ji-hyuk, still smirking, expresses that he kinda likes this glasses man for his honesty. Han Ji-hyuk confronts the startled glasses man, confirming he heard everything the guy was thinking. Han Ji-hyuk, with a dark smirk, declares his hatred for traps and his initial intent to wreck everything. Han Ji-hyuk points at the glasses man, admitting his cute warning made him reconsider his destructive plans. Han Ji-hyuk offers the glasses man a part-time job, completely blindsiding the guy who was just about to betray him. The glasses man, now beaming, suggests that if he works for Ji-hyuk, all the other porters will return. Han Ji-hyuk laughs, agreeing that this is indeed the best plan, clearly enjoying his new recruit. Han Ji-hyuk, with a sinister aura, questions if the other porters are the same ones who just threatened to crush him. Our boy never forgets. The glasses man insists his friends aren't bad, and he can convince them, still holding on to his loyalty. Han Ji-hyuk muses that he rarely forgives betrayal, but understands the struggle of being broke. Han Ji-hyuk gives the glasses man a second chance, demanding secrecy and loyalty from his friends as a condition. The glasses man, looking determined, agrees to Han Ji-hyuk's terms, officially joining his side. The glasses man brings Chansu and the woman to Han Ji-hyuk, fulfilling his promise. Chansu, the burly man, looks surprised, realizing this was Han Ji-hyuk's calculated move all along. Kim Jong-hyuk, the new antagonist in the Hawaiian shirt, welcomes his team, ready to confront Ji-hyuk. Kim Jong-hyuk's team members confidently declare that an F rank like Han Ji-hyuk will be easy to handle. Kim Jong-hyuk, with a smug grin, announces his plan to deal with that guy, Han Ji-hyuk, today. Kim Jong-hyuk admits to using Ji-hyuk's skeleton porters, finding them convenient and cheap, highlighting his hypocrisy. Kim Jong-hyuk puts his arm around a subordinate, claiming he must protect porter rights because Ji-hyuk is cutting into his profits. Kim Jong-hyuk, with a sinister smirk, details his plan for his subordinates to loudly complain to Ji-hyuk when he heads home. Kim Jong-hyuk's subordinates practice their insults, preparing to accuse Ji-hyuk of unethical business practices. Kim Jong-hyuk's subordinate acts out their plan, pretending Han Ji-hyuk is attacking him, while our boy and his skeletons look utterly unimpressed. Kim Jong-hyuk's crew confirms their scheme to frame Han Ji-hyuk as the aggressor, ensuring they face no repercussions. Kim Jong-hyuk, the Hawaiian shirt villain, reveals his true colors, hiking his tribute fee from 15% to a whopping 25%. Kim Yong-gi's freckled subordinate looks absolutely flabbergasted, realizing this new fee was definitely not part of the deal. Kim Jong-hyuk dismisses the subordinate's shock, asking if he thought punishing an awakened like Han Ji-hyuk was free. Kim Jong-hyuk gives the subordinate a classic villain ultimatum: lose all their work to Ji-hyuk or pay up for more jobs. The defeated subordinate, looking utterly crushed, reluctantly agrees to pay the increased tribute fee. Kim Jong-hyuk, the Hawaiian shirt guy, smirks, telling his subordinate that Kim Yong-gi is easy to reason with, then dismisses him. The freckled subordinate complains to his friends about the outrageous 25% tribute, wondering how they'll even survive. The freckled subordinate angrily blames Han Ji-hyuk for their predicament, claiming they wouldn't be begging otherwise. Another awakened guy tells the complaining subordinate to leave if he doesn't like it, warning about the harsh reality of surviving alone. The group looks startled as Chansu, the burly man, suddenly appears, interrupting their heated argument. Chansu, the burly man, tries to de-escalate the situation, insisting that fighting amongst themselves isn't the answer. The freckled subordinate dismisses Chansu, calling him a traitor and questioning his sudden concern. The freckled subordinate angrily confronts Chansu, who desperately tries to explain himself, but the subordinate refuses to listen. Chansu, the burly man, explains he only asked Han Ji-hyuk for a way to make a living, and our boy promised a solution. Chansu, the burly man, argues they need to unite, as even with summons, one person can't handle everything alone. The freckled subordinate scoffs at Chansu's claims, questioning how they can trust such vague promises from Han Ji-hyuk. Chansu, the burly man, defends Han Ji-hyuk, insisting he's not a bad person and is someone they can actually reason with. Chansu, the burly man, pleads with his friends to trust him and hold out a little longer, reminding them of his loyalty. The woman and another awakened guy agree to trust Chansu, remembering his past kindness and support. The freckled subordinate yells at everyone to get a grip, insisting they must protect their own livelihood. The glasses man and the woman agree to trust Chansu's word, making the burly man look relieved. The freckled subordinate, looking furious, warns the group that if they take out Han Ji-hyuk, they'll have no jobs left. Han Ji-hyuk and Han Seo-ah, his zombie assistant, walk away together under the night sky, completely unbothered by the drama. Han Ji-hyuk and his zombie assistant, Han Seo-ah, walk together, with our boy thinking about ordering some jockball for dinner. Han Ji-hyuk and Han Seo-ah stop, sensing something, as Ji-hyuk tells her to hold on. The freckled subordinate from Kim Yong-gi's crew confronts Ji-hyuk, accusing Chansu of snitching on their plans. Han Ji-hyuk looks utterly amused, clarifying he just offered Chansu a part-time job, not a secret alliance. Han Ji-hyuk dismisses the group of porters, stating Chansu's new gig has nothing to do with their beef. Han Ji-hyuk's eyes glow blue as he decides to quickly wrap up this drama because his dinner is waiting. Han Ji-hyuk unleashes a powerful binding spell, trapping several porters in glowing purple chains, leaving them stunned. Han Ji-hyuk, still casting, commands everyone hiding in the shadows to come out and face him. More porters, including the Hawaiian shirt villain, are ensnared by Ji-hyuk's binding chains, struggling in midair. Han Ji-hyuk's intense blue eyes glare, showing he's done playing games with these clowns. Han Ji-hyuk lifts the Hawaiian shirt villain with his chains, recognizing him as the scumbag who killed Han Seo-ah. Han Ji-hyuk's zombie assistant, Han Seo-ah, stands by as our boy admits he was too lazy to hunt her killer, but now he's here. The Hawaiian shirt villain looks absolutely terrified, realizing he's completely screwed. Han Ji-hyuk, with a sinister grin, declares it's time to have some fun with these guys. Han Ji-hyuk, with glowing red eyes, pulls the Hawaiian shirt villain closer, mocking him for harassing people just trying to work. Han Ji-hyuk continues to roast the Hawaiian shirt villain, calling him a total thug as he struggles in the chains. Han Ji-hyuk kicks the Hawaiian shirt villain, reiterating that this is what happens when you mess with peaceful businesses. Han Ji-hyuk's expression darkens, stating that the villain has definitely crossed the line. Han Ji-hyuk summons a massive army of glowing-eyed skeletons, promising to make the villain regret everything. The Hawaiian shirt villain screams in pure terror as dozens of skeletal hands reach out for him. Han Ji-hyuk, with a cold gaze, declares this will be a proper example, teaching them a lesson with his undead army. Han Ji-hyuk and Han Seo-ah walk away, with our boy casually noting that his revenge is now sorted. Han Ji-hyuk's skeletons are shown, and he explains he used illusion magic to scare the bastards and even fixed their shabby appearances. The glasses man Chansu and the woman profusely thank Han Ji-hyuk for his unexpected intervention. Han Ji-hyuk, with a friendly smile, tells the glasses man that he actually needed more people anyway, hinting at recruitment. Chansu, the burly man, asks Han Ji-hyuk what he did to the other porters, clearly curious about the chaos. Han Ji-hyuk, our boy, casually asks Chansu, "Oh, them?" with a smirk, playing it cool. Han Ji-hyuk, with a dark grin, claims he just gave the other porters a friendly warning, which we all know means he scared the hell out of them. Han Ji-hyuk, the glasses man, Chansu, and the woman are shown as our guy offers a new, slightly lower hourly rate of 25,000 KRW. Han Ji-hyuk, with a confident smirk, promises the group they'll never run out of work again, securing his new recruits. Han Ji-hyuk proudly unveils his state-of-the-art six-legged transport skeleton MK4, showing off his upgraded tech. Chansu, the glasses man, and the woman look utterly flabbergasted by Ji-hyuk's new, monstrous skeleton creation. A new group of awakened, including a man with a mustache, discusses how convenient the transport skeletons in the next town are. The woman from the new group, sitting on a skeleton, pitches her team's porter service for a hefty 120,000 KRW per hour. The man with the mustache and his companion question why a person is included in the skeleton rental deal. The woman from the new group, with a cheerful smile, explains they only rent by team units, forcing customers to pay for her too. The man with the mustache and his companion debate paying for the extra person, with the spear wielder suggesting they try it out. The woman from the new group, with a big, happy smile, thanks them for agreeing, promising no regrets for her overpriced service. The new group of awakened, including the man with the mustache, prepares to start their hunt with the skeleton team. The woman from the new group, with a happy expression, tells them they can start immediately, as she'll handle packing while moving. The man with the mustache looks surprised by the convenience, noting the efficiency of not waiting for packing. The spear-wielding man from the new group spots an incoming monster, ready for action. The woman from the new group, with a determined look, shouts for her team to cover as monsters approach. The new group of awakened fights monsters, with the spear wielder expressing relief about not worrying about porters. Combat finished, and the woman from the new group prepares to process the monster bodies, showing her efficiency. The spear-wielding man asks about the earlier monster bodies, and the woman confirms she finished them during the fight. The spear-wielding man gives the woman a thumbs up, calling her amazing, and she happily accepts the compliment. The spear-wielding man reserves the woman's team for tomorrow, as the narrative highlights their overwhelming efficiency and cost-effectiveness. Han Ji-hyuk and Han Seo-ah stand in a room surrounded by skeletons, as the narrative confirms Ji-hyuk's skeletons are dominating the monster byproduct industry. Han Ji-hyuk, with a thoughtful expression, tells Han Seo-ah that something still feels unsatisfying, despite his business success. Han Ji-hyuk fumes, recalling how disrespected undead were back in Seiron, making him angry all over again. Our boy reflects on his hesitation to expand his porter business, noting people are surprisingly chill with non-combat skeletons. Han Ji-hyuk, with Han Seo-ah, thinks about mass-producing skeletons for cash, but fears the attention would ruin his peaceful retirement. Han Ji-hyuk explains that typical summoners are capped at 10 units, a limit he's already blown past. Our guy worries that summoning even more skeletons will definitely draw the kind of attention he's trying to avoid. Han Ji-hyuk looks annoyed at Han Seo-ah, who's glued to her phone, comparing it to a parent dealing with a smartphone-addicted kid. Han Ji-hyuk asks Han Seo-ah what she's so engrossed in, clearly curious about her screen time. Han Seo-ah is watching idle videos, making Ji-hyuk comment on someone else struggling to figure things out while he's busy. Han Ji-hyuk observes Han Seo-ah's idle obsession, thinking about their money but also their lack of privacy, still dreaming of his quiet retirement. Our boy has a sudden epiphany, realizing he doesn't need fame to be rich, he just needs the money. Han Ji-hyuk, with a thoughtful expression, decides if he's going to get attention anyway, he might as well go full throttle. Han Ji-hyuk's hand is shown dialing a number, ready to seize the moment and make some serious moves. Han Ji-hyuk, on the phone, tells Han Seo-ah he's instructing Mr. Park to significantly increase Monster Bone purchases starting tomorrow. Han Ji-hyuk checks his bank balance, now over 32 million KRW, as he calculates his next big investment. Han Ji-hyuk, with a determined grin, tells the person on the phone to buy 32 million KRW worth of bones, shocking the other party. Our boy, still on the phone, declares he'll reinvest every single profit into more bones, demanding efficient handling. Mr. Park, the monster buyer, enthusiastically agrees over the phone to gather only the freshest bones for Han Ji-hyuk. Han Ji-hyuk, with Han Seo-ah, confirms bone purchases are handled and wonders if he should establish a company. Han Ji-hyuk envisions renting a warehouse, setting up a company, and distributing dozens of his skeletons daily. Han Ji-hyuk, with a sly smirk, changes his mind, deciding to unleash his full business potential all at once. The Gate Management Bureau, Awakener Registration Office building is shown, signaling Ji-hyuk's next big play. Jung Sung-hoon, the registration office director, sits at his desk, asking if there's anything noteworthy to report. Jung Sung-hoon, the subordinate, remembers something about a special management target after a moment of thought. Jung Sung-hoon, the subordinate, identifies Han Ji-hyuk as the target, and the director laughs about the guy with transport skeletons. Jung Sung-hoon, the subordinate, checks his phone, noting Ji-hyuk made 32 skeletons a month ago and started a company. The subordinate informs the director about Han Ji-hyuk's new company, Seiron, which just officially opened. The director comments on Han Ji-hyuk's unexpected success with weak skeletons, estimating his monthly earnings in the billions. The director asks if they should remove Han Ji-hyuk from the special management list, thinking his summons hit their limit, while the subordinate looks shocked. A new subordinate bursts in, asking if the director and the other subordinate have heard the latest news. The director asks what news, assuming it's about Han Ji-hyuk's company, which he just heard about. The new subordinate corrects the director, revealing the news is about Han Ji-hyuk's transport skeletons flooding the market. The director questions if 32 wasn't the limit, realizing Han Ji-hyuk broke the old record of 27 a month ago, deciding to keep him under special management. The new subordinate dramatically declares that Han Ji-hyuk's skeleton count is way beyond that, shocking the director and the other subordinate. The director looks confused, wondering how many skeletons Han Ji-hyuk deployed to cause such a reaction. The new subordinate holds up 3 fingers, confirming the number is 300, making the director and the other subordinate look stunned. The new subordinate yells that it's actually 300 and likely more are on the way, completely freaking out. The director looks utterly bewildered, questioning what the hell is going on outside. People are being directed away from a building as numerous skeleton porters are seen, causing a commotion. The director and the new subordinate walk, with the subordinate confirming the number of skeletons now exceeds 350. The director asks where Han Ji-hyuk is, and the new subordinate points towards a warehouse. The director looks shocked as they approach the warehouse. The director and the new subordinate are inside a massive warehouse filled with skeletons, realizing there are even more than they thought. Han Ji-hyuk, our guy, turns to the visitors, announcing a break for lunch and asking Manager Kang to handle it. Manager Kang, a cheerful young man, happily accepts Han Ji-hyuk's card, thanking his boss for the lunch treat. Han Ji-hyuk, with a confident smile, introduces himself to the director, confirming they're from the Management Bureau. The bearded scientist from the F-rank test greets Han Ji-hyuk, reminding him of their initial encounter, and Ji-hyuk acknowledges him. The bearded scientist asks about Han Seo-ah, who is standing next to Ji-hyuk, and Ji-hyuk introduces her as his cousin helping with work. The bearded scientist questions if all the skeletons are summons, and Han Ji-hyuk confirms it, agreeing with the staff's count of over 350. The bearded scientist looks suspicious, asking Han Ji-hyuk if he deceived them during the initial test. Han Ji-hyuk, with a sly grin, denies deceiving them, claiming he honestly didn't know he could summon this many either. Jung Sung-hoon, the director, tells Han Ji-hyuk to stop summoning, looking utterly bewildered. Jung Sung-hoon, the director, freaks out about Ji-hyuk's 350-plus summons, calling it abnormal for an F rank. Han Ji-hyuk, with Han Seo-ah by his side, coolly asks why he should stop summoning. Han Ji-hyuk explains he had lawyers review all summoning laws, finding no regulations on the number of summons. Our boy always covers his bases. Han Ji-hyuk dismisses safety concerns, pointing out these are the same skeletons they approved before. The director and the new subordinate admit there's nothing legally wrong, as the law wasn't designed for Ji-hyuk's scale. Han Ji-hyuk confidently states his company operates under special awakener laws, allowing profit from abilities, and his skeletons have proven safe. The narrative confirms the registration office staff, unable to argue with Ji-hyuk's legal prep, left without a word. Han Ji-hyuk smirks, thinking that making a big impact all at once is the best strategy. Han Ji-hyuk explains that releasing all his skeletons at once prevented interference, as people freeze when expectations are shattered. Han Ji-hyuk, with Chibi Han Seo-ah, wonders if he should keep going, noting he could easily produce 300 a day. Han Ji-hyuk, with Chibi Han Seo-ah, plans to save up 2,000 summons and release them all at once to silence any complaints. Han Ji-hyuk and Han Seo-ah cheer, ready to go all out with their summoning business. Han Seo-ah looks utterly exhausted, complaining that she doesn't want to work anymore. Han Ji-hyuk, looking tired, reflects on creating 1,000 skeletons in 4 days, ignoring media uproar about other summoners. Han Ji-hyuk, looking weary, questions if he was too excited about starting the company, admitting making 300 skeletons daily is tough. Han Ji-hyuk laments having to work hard to afford a comfortable retirement, questioning the logic of his current grind. Manager Kang knocks on the door, asking if he can come in. Manager Kang bursts in looking panicked, announcing something big is happening outside. Han Ji-hyuk, peeking from behind his desk, asks if there's trouble here too, while Han Seo-ah looks on. Han Ji-hyuk dismisses his own minor hassles, asking Manager Kang about the big issue. Manager Kang, looking stressed, reveals a large group of porters from another region are protesting outside. Han Ji-hyuk's eyes widen in surprise, questioning protesting? Han Ji-hyuk sighs, deciding to check it out, as a protest banner declares transport skeletons are ruining the porter market. A protester yells into a microphone, complaining that robots and summons are threatening their livelihoods. Han Ji-hyuk observes a protest where people condemn Siron's tyranny for taking jobs, wondering what this new mess is. A protester with a microphone demands Han Ji-hyuk, CEO of Siron, guarantee porters' labor rights. The protester looks utterly shocked, yelling for everyone to wait a moment. Han Ji-hyuk, with a calm smirk, introduces himself and invites the protesters inside to discuss their concerns properly.